In 1971, rock music felt like it had just realized how big it could be, and then it decided to try everything at once. The raw blues roots were still there, but now they were colliding with heavier riffs, some acoustic introspection, orchestral ambition, and even some early synth experimentation. Bands were stretching songs longer, albums were becoming the main event instead of singles, and the idea of rock itself was starting to splinter into subgenres. Hard rock, prog, folk rock, glam, all happening at the same time. It was a year where artists weren't just writing songs, they were building identities, pushing boundaries, and setting the tone for what the next decade of rock would become. So what were the 10 best albums of this year? Starting off our list, we have Metal by Pink Floyd. Metal feels like a band in the middle of figuring itself out, and that's exactly why fans love it. It's not as polished as what came later, but you can hear the blueprint forming. The first side jumps around stylistically, but once Echoes kicks in, everything locks into place. It's not based on a real story, more of a sonic exploration, but it hints at the conceptual direction that would soon define them. And for a lot of fans, this is where Pink Floyd really becomes Pink Floyd. The Doors, LA Woman. This one sounds like it was made in a smoky room with the windows closed, and that's definitely part of the appeal. LA Woman strips away some of the earlier psychedelic layers and leans hard into blues and grit. The songs feel rooted in real life, late nights, city chaos, and Jim Morrison's unraveling state of mind. Knowing it was his final album adds some real weight, but even without that, it stands as one of the band's most grounded and raw efforts. Electric Warrior by T-Rex. Short songs and big attitude, Electric Warrior doesn't overthink anything, it just hits. Mark Bolan wasn't telling deep real-life stories here. This is more about vibe, swagger, and style. But that simplicity is exactly what makes it stick. It helped kick open the door for glam rock, proving you didn't need complexity to make something memorable. Fans love it because it feels effortless. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. If earlier Sabbath albums hinted at something heavy, Master of Reality just commits fully. Slower tempos, thicker riffs, and a darker overall mood make this feel like a turning point. A lot of the themes pull from real anxieties like war and addiction and paranoia, but they're filtered through this dense, almost suffocating sound. It's not flashy, but it's incredibly influential. Fans of heavy music that was to come basically trace a straight line back to this album. Hunky Dory by David Bowie. This is Bowie on the edge of becoming Bowie as most people know him. Hunky Dory is full of character sketches, reflections, and a few nods to some real people, but it's not strictly autobiographical. It's more like he's trying on different identities and seeing what fits. The songwriting is sharp, the arrangements are lighter than what came later, and fans love it because it feels like a creative breakthrough happening in real time. Fragile by Yes. Fragile walks that line between technical and approachable, better than most prog albums. It's complex, sure, but it never feels like it's showing off just for the sake of it. The songs lean more toward abstract and conceptual ideas rather than real-life stories, and each band member gets a moment to shine. The fans love it because it proves prog can be both intricate and memorable without losing the listener completely. Aqualung by Jethro Tull. This album feels like two records mashed together, and somehow it works. You've got acoustic, almost delicate moments sitting right next to heavier riff-driven tracks. Some songs draw from real-world observations, especially around religion and society, while others feel more character-based. It's uneven in a way that actually adds to its charm, and fans connect with it because it doesn't follow a predictable path. The Rolling Stones' Sticky Fingers. There's a looseness to Sticky Fingers that makes it feel real. The band sounds like they're just playing, not trying to impress anyone. A lot of the material is grounded in actual experiences, relationships, excess, and the darker sides of fame, but it's delivered with a kind of detached cool. It's messy in the right ways, and that authenticity is a big reason fans keep coming back to it. The Who, Who's Next? Who's Next is what you get when big ideas get distilled into something more focused. It came out of a larger abandoned concept, but what remained was incredibly tight. The songs aren't telling one continuous real story, but they reflect real concerns about technology, control, and identity. It's powerful without being overcomplicated, and fans love how direct it feels compared to some of the band's earlier work. Finally, we have Led Zeppelin with Led Zeppelin 4. This is one that almost everyone agrees on. Led Zeppelin 4 doesn't rely on a single concept or real-life narrative. It pulls from folklore, mythology, and just pure imagination. What makes it stand out is how effortlessly it moves between styles: heavy rock, acoustic folk, and everything in between. It feels complete without trying too hard to be anything specific, and that balance is why fans across different corners of rock all land on this album as a favorite. Now, 1971 was an incredible year, especially for classic rock, and there were a ton of albums that didn't make the list. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Was your favorite album on the list? If not, let me know. Thanks for watching.